Hey, Pawn family, welcome back to the Pawn Leaders Podcast. And today with me, I have a friend of mine, Antoine Dupont, who is originally from Paris, France, and knows how to make people want to watch your videos. Antoine has spent the last 5 years studying marketing, and in the process has created hundreds of videos for his clients. Antoine's clients are seeing a 3 to 5 time increase in their social media engagement, while others have experienced a 37% increase in sales in 2017 because of their video marketing strategies. As CEO of Catapult Marketing, he brings a sense of competition to his clients' businesses. Catapult is an internet marketing company that manages the web presence for business owners, helping them grow their business. They create videos and websites that generate leads and increase credibility. Antoine leads a team of playful yet serious professionals specializing in generating leads for businesses or organizations through internet marketing. Antoine, welcome to the Pawn Leaders Podcast, brother.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Yigal. It's a delight.
No, it's my pleasure, man. I know that, we've talked, you were here in San Diego not too long ago at Social Media Marketing World. We sat down to have lunch. I've known you for a while. Mm-hmm. And I want to bring you onto the podcast because your expertise is video marketing. And I know that video marketing works. So I want to kind of talk about how you got into the business, and then we'll talk about why video marketing works and how the pawnbrokers can start video marketing to bring more customers into their shops. So tell me, how did you get into this industry?
Well, the video marketing, the digital marketing industry or video marketing? And you want to talk about video marketing, right?
Yeah, I want to talk about video marketing.
All right, great. So video marketing, it was about, I would say about 4 or 5 years ago. I had a young man working in my business, and he was talking about video marketing. We have to do it. We have to look, and it's the next big thing. And as a digital marketer, you're always like chasing. It feels like the second you figured out the next thing, then this new thing comes along, and then you have to jump on that bandwagon, and there's a bit of a whiplash. It's just again I got to do something, but I gave it a shot, and I did some videos, and I think that's one of the things that I give advice to everybody is allow yourself to suck for a while, because this is what's going to happen with video marketing. And basically we sucked. I got a flip cam, those little cameras where you open up the little flip thing. I put a cheap tripod, no microphone. I put it in front of me. I didn't have any lights, and I produced my first video, and I said, let me just talk and see what comes out. And we've been doing it, over and over and over again. I mean, I have a channel on my YouTube channel is about over 100 videos that we've produced for ourselves. Not to count all the videos, the hundreds of videos that we've produced for our clients. We've learned along the way, because it's something that was completely new for us. We've learned along the way pretty much everything you shouldn't do, and all the things that you should do, so that there is really a core thing for pawnbrokers and pawn shop owners out there to produce content. The thing that you have to realize, I think that's most important for you, is this is where our undivided attention is. See, we can't get enough of videos. In terms of marketing, as a marketer, what you're trying to do is you're trying to put your client's brand or your brand in front of people's eyes. What are they looking at? Are they looking at billboards? Are they listening to radio? Are they watching television? What are they looking at collectively, my target audience? And the answer for you as pawnbrokers is they're looking at videos. They're watching videos. They're watching videos either on YouTube or they're watching videos on their Facebook feed. And those are the two 800-pound gorilla in the room for just about everybody in 2018, 2019, and 2020. That's what we're paying attention. That is what your audience is paying attention to. It's paying attention to YouTube, Facebook, and what we like to consume on those channels is videos by the buttload. So if that's what we're doing, then your job as a pawnbroker, as a shop owner, is to figure out, what do I need to do to put content in those channels to attract people to pay attention to me and then come to my store and buy things. And I mean, and there are some industries that are difficult. to work for. But pawnbrokers, are you guys kidding me? Why are you guys not killing it? I mean, Pawn Stars is just serious. Everything, every hour is a story. Every hour there's something that's got to be happening. I could go into any one of your store, look around, and within 10 minutes, I will have, okay, I want to know about this.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Tell me about this thing. Like, this is just, I just want to know the story. So, first of all the stories, but what we like to consume, particularly in the YouTube sectors, is what we refer to as the how-to videos. How-to.
Yeah.
One of them, every single one of you is actually very skilled at, and every single one of you should have it, is how do you negotiate with a pawnbroker? I think a lot of people would want to know that.
Yeah.
And then, so how do you negotiate? And look at it from your point of view, right? It says, you could explain. It says, listen, I have people that come in my shop. Sometimes they think they're good negotiators, and within 5 minutes, I know it's just that, it's an idiot that's just trying to get away with stuff. Right. So that's a thing. But in terms of how to, this is a treasure trove. And I'm sure that every single one of the person listening on this podcast could come up easily with 50 to 100 video topics on how to negotiate.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah,
really
go
quickly.
ahead. Sorry.
I think that especially in the pawn shop, there's so many interesting things happening. New people walking in, interesting items coming in, stories, as you said. And I want, the pawnbrokers who are listening to know that the video doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be 3 camera angles, the best lighting out there. You just have to turn the camera on and record a story of some sort and start somewhere, right?
Right. That's right. And so there's a couple of things. First of all, there is tons of education on YouTube on how to make videos. Okay. That's number one, is just like, it's there, and there's more videos that you can shake a stick at.
Yeah.
But the second thing is, it doesn't have to be perfect. There's a matter of fact, when it is authentic, when it is raw, and when it is real, people like that better than when it's actually, people don't want you to produce a television show. And that's what happened to a lot of people. They're like, oh my God, we're shooting a commercial, or we're on television. No, you're not. What you're doing is you're doing what Yigal and I are doing right now. You're having a conversation. That's it. You're just talking. You wouldn't believe what just happened. So this guy came into store and he's got this guitar, right? It's a 1968 Stratocaster or whatever, and just tell the story. And you can tell a great story about this. And then, by the way, it's available. You can buy this guitar. This guitar can be yours for, $6,000. And I don't think it's going to last. It's a great story. It's just exactly what you would say between you and I. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Most of you can start with a mobile phone. Every single one of you has an amazing media device in your pocket, assuming that you have a iPhone or a Samsung, but most of these phones do an amazing job. The only thing I would ask you to buy is a microphone, a corded microphone, and it's a whopping price of $10.
Yeah.
Okay, you can go on Amazon, you buy yourself a corded phone. It will be in your mailbox in 24 hours, and then you plug it in your phone, you clip it on your thing, and now you have good quality sound. That's really all there is to it. Just look at the camera, smile, and just talk. Explain what you just happened, and there you have it. That's video number one.
So the pawnbrokers who are listening, I think it's really, really important to remember that we sometimes believe that our stories aren't interesting because we're in the shop every single day and we see these stories every single day. But to everybody else, they're extremely interesting. It's why Pawn Stars and Hardcore Pawn and all these pawn shows have become so famous, because people wanted to see the stories that walk into the pawn shop. And every one of the pawn leaders or the pawn shop owners has stories like this. I mean, I remember my brother and I, we made a video of us recycling the print cartridges. And that got a ton of hits because we were a green pawn shop and we believed in recycling. So whatever you're doing, just turn on your camera, right?
That's it. Just turn on your camera, start shooting, do a video, tell a story. So by the way, so here's one of the things that we can't get enough as human beings, and as long as we're human beings, we'll be hungry for stories. We cannot get enough of stories. Stories is, this is what we live for. I actually have an entire other presentation on website, on the anatomy of a very highly effective websites. And one of the things you want to do is you want to tell a story. And people are like, how do I tell a story on my website? And I said, well, come and watch my presentation and you'll find out. But the reason why you do a story is because that's what works. See, the stories is the juice. And every single one of you have a great, multiple great stories to talk about. So that's that. Each item that is in there has a story. If it's not the story of the people that brought it to you, at least it's a story of that specific thing. And that stuff. So yeah, but we can't get enough of that.
And we all have crazy stories in the pawn industry because of, I remember a guy walking into the store and he'd taken out his gold teeth and putting it on the counter. That'd be a great video, There's so many great there's so many great stories that happen to a pawn shop. A guy walking in with a human skull, and people want entertainment. So let's talk about this. A lot of the pawnbrokers are on Facebook. Is it better for them to right now maybe do a Facebook Live on their Facebook page or upload something to YouTube? What's the first place that they should really focus in on when it comes to video marketing?
I would stay away from Facebook Live until they've mastered recording videos. So I think that a lot of people are going to Facebook Live because it seems like it's the new thing that everybody ought to be doing. But one of the first thing that I say in my presentation is go to Facebook Live when it's live worthy. Like a lot of people are recording videos that are not live worthy. How is this live worthy? This is not live worthy. You could record this at any time and show it at any time. So the day of the time has absolutely no point in the story. Like if me and Yigal, let's just put it in that sense. If me and Yigal meet at the convention center at a big event and it's happening on Tuesday and we just happen to be here and something great happened, it's live worthy because it's only happening like right now. Next week, it's not happening. It's not happening tomorrow. It's happening right now. We've experienced that. That's live worthy. That's when you turn on Facebook Live and you go live worthy because, people are going to, the issue that you're going to have if it's not live worthy, they're going to watch 10 seconds of it and they're going to leave. They're going to say, well, I can watch this later. Right? So that's the first component. But the second one is when you record videos, well, it's a lot more forgiving. Right? You could actually just, scrap an entire video and say, okay, that really didn't turn out right. The sound wasn't right. The light wasn't right. Let me reshoot that. I just don't like how it sounded. I think I can do this better and whatnot. So it's just a lot more forgiving. And then it gives you the chops to actually go to Facebook Live and do some, live streaming.
So, and also I want to talk to you about, you're saying that a lot of the people who are doing videos with you, who are doing video marketing, are seeing an increase in business. The pawnbrokers are sometimes skeptical, right? We're skeptical people. We want to make sure that everything that walks in our store is real, that we're not getting one pulled over on us. How is it increasing business? Are people searching terms so the videos pop up? Are they connecting more with the business? What do you think is happening that it's creating more clients to walk into stores?
Right. So the thing that most business owners don't understand with Facebook is that Facebook is a marketing and branding apparatus. It's not a sales engine. So they're looking. So in essence, if you have a flyer that says 10% discount if you come today, that's a sales thing. Right? So I get a coupon or I get a flyer that tells me if I come on today, I'm going to get 10% discount on whatever you sell. There's a sales transaction. There is a 1-to-1 ratio, right? I get a flyer, I come in, I get a discount, I move. You pass 1,000 flyers, 10 people come in, 3 buy some stuff for you, you do the conversion. This is how it works. This is not how Facebook works. Facebook is a branding apparatus. This is what we're all watching collectively. This is what we're paying attention to. So what I mean by that, this is a place where you're going to actually have brand awareness, right? Your challenge is that people are paying attention more to you than they're paying attention to your competition or something else, right? So how you do that is you have to put content in front of them that is interesting, right? Facebook, the last thing you want to do on Facebook is put a commercial, right? Or an advertisement. I mean, unless it's very specific, like we're having a sale, everything in the store is 50% off Sunday, 2 to 6 p.m., right? That's the deal. Then you could actually run that because it's very specific. It's on that day. Or if you mention this ad, you're going to get a 10%. So there's a transaction you can target. But overall, Facebook is not designed for that. So what I mean by people are seeing a 3 to 5 increase in engagement is it starts with the engagement, right? So what we're seeing is that when they actually are producing videos, in some cases, actually I put 3 to 5 because I didn't want to sound like it was hyperbole, but it's more like 10 times more engagement when we do videos with our client than when we do a regular post. I mean, it's just night and day. It's not even close. We're just putting a picture or whatnot. We get like 10, 15, 20 likes, a comment and whatnot. We're putting a video and we're getting like 5,000 views, 30 comments, 3 shares and whatnot. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's not 3 to 5 times. It's like 10 times more. And the reason why is because this is what we want to consume. So that transaction of people paying attention to what you do has them being aware of your brand. The issue with your business is, I don't know enough of the pawn industry, but when is someone ready to go to a pawn shop? I guess it's any day of the week, any time of the day, and it's
when they need
365 days. So there's when they need money. So when they need money or when they want to buy something. And I guess it's like it's one or the other. I say, hey, I'm looking for a guitar, or my son wants to buy, he wants to start the drums and I don't want to buy a brand new drum set. I'm sure one of the pawn shop around me has a set of drums they want to sell me for $250, right?
Yeah.
So when is that? Well, you don't know when is that. It's all the time. So what you have to do as a brand, as a shop and whatnot, is put content on a regular basis in front of those people that is interesting. So when they think about it, when they need it, it's just like, I know where I'm going because you're right there. So your job as a pawn shop owner is to be in front of people on a regular basis, not aggressively, not trying to sell your stuff, but just saying, hey, look at that. Great brand new guitar. Isn't it awesome? I know you don't need it, but let me tell you the story of this guitar. Boom, now I've just got that. I'm going to watch your content because it's interesting. And now you've implanted your shop in my brain. And you do this month after month after month after month. And after 6 months, there's only one pawn shop that I know. It's yours.
Yeah.
The reason why is because you put content. And when I need you, bam, right there. So that's the thing that people don't connect. This is what I tried Facebook. It didn't work. And I'm like, what did you do? I'm like, I put some ads and nobody responded. And I'm like, it's kind of like yelling at a train when it passes by to you at 60 miles an hour and say, hey, buy my shit. And it's like, it's not going to work. So it's your how you approached it that didn't work. It's not that Facebook doesn't work. Actually, there's nothing better than Facebook for marketers in 2018. It's just nothing. Like everybody is giving crap to Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook and all this thing. And it's just like, there's nothing. I mean, I've been in business. My first business was many moons ago, was over 25 years ago. And what we had a business card, a brochure, a Coke, and a smile. All right. And we went and knocked on doors and we didn't have none of this stuff. And now you have this Facebook thing where I can put an ad and I can say, target men in their 30s to 40s that like the NFL and that like beer, this kind of beer, and that live in San Diego. I want to put this in front of them because it's a sign that I have in my store. You could actually target a specific product, specific audience, and there's just nothing like that. Nothing that I've ever seen in marketing.
Yeah. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about being, top of mind. I think it's very, very important. There's so much noise today. And some pawnbrokers will say, well, my clients aren't on Facebook or my clients aren't on social media. And that's a ton of crap. Everyone's on social media. Everyone's on
Yes.
Facebook watching videos. So stop
Yes.
that. Stop that right now. Stop
Yeah.
saying that. Even if they don't have
Two
any
two
money,
billion.
smartphone.
Right. 2 billion, yeah, 2 billion active users on Facebook. It is by far, there are two 800 pound gorilla on the in the digital marketing space. It's Google and Facebook,
Yeah.
period. The rest is peanuts. So if you want to grow your business, if there is two things you're going to focus on, one of them is Google. And I think that that's what the distinction that people need to understand. And this is where all of the people listening are going to get the clarity. Google is where people go and look for what they want to buy. So there's a very strong intent to buy. So if you want to target people looking specifically for what you're selling, Google is the answer. Facebook will allow you to put your product in front of your target audience, but there's no intent to buy on Facebook. People don't go to Facebook to buy, but that's where we spend our time. That's the new TV in essence.
Yeah.
So if you understand that and you respect that, we go to Facebook to chill. We will go to Facebook to look at, let me see what Yigal just posted lately, and then just look at comments and whatnot. But we're not going there with intent to buy, but this is what we're giving our attention to. So if you understand that and you respect the platform, you're saying, okay, that's what they're looking at. Then your job is to put content on an ongoing basis. And I said, I don't know if you heard that, but I'm going to say that. And I said, month after month after month, I intended you put one piece of content. I didn't say you have to produce one video a day or a week, one video a month. Start with that. At the end of the year, it's 12 videos that I've gotten in front of people. Now, if you can make that once a week,
Right.
bless you. But once a month, it's just that's all you need. And with Facebook, you can actually put it exactly where you want to put it. It says,
Okay, so let's
go
talk
ahead.
about the strategy, right? You and I, we open up Dupont Pawn, let's say, right? A new pawn shop, and we've got a couple of likes. We've got 200 likes, and we start creating content, right? We start creating videos. Give us kind of like a strategy that a pawnbroker can stop listening to this podcast and tomorrow start. So we create a piece of content. It's this guy brought in a guitar. It's a Stratocaster, and it's worth X amount of dollars. And so we give you a story. What do we do next?
Yeah.
Do we boost the post? Do we share the post? Do we put it as an advertisement? What's kind of like the best way to go about it when we're a smaller shop trying to grow that content, that engagement?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, absolutely. So I would use Facebook to post that video. So you want to put it on your Facebook page, and then you want to share it to your personal. So we would put it on the Dupont Pawn Star page, and then you and me, because we're partnered, we would share it in our own environment to try to bring some people to actually watch that video. Okay. That by itself is not going to be sufficient. You most likely are going to need to boost that for, I would say, what I would say very conservatively for you and me, I would say we got to do a video a week. Right. I would say, Yigal, that's the deal. We're doing one video a week. Each video would be boosted for $25. So for $25 a month, $25 a week. So that's $100 a month. We would create a target audience. So we would look at multiple of factors. We could look at the age, we could look at geography, we could look at their interests, we could look at a whole bunch of stuff. Obviously, people that like Pawn Star, for example, that could be a great fit. People that like this. So
the zip
Facebook
code stories, right?
The zip code. You want to do like how, and I often, so I'm in South Florida. I'm on the other side of the United States from you. And I have clients here, and I can imagine this is the same thing. San Diego is very big. So you got Los Angeles, whatever is in between in San Diego. It's a huge thing. And I have clients that says, oh, my territory is all this. And I'm like, really? So you're telling me that a guy in northern Los Angeles would actually drive to your shop? Do you have something? Well, it's a possibility. I'm like, no, No, your geography is 25 miles, and I'm being generous. Okay, this is already a big territory. So try to narrow it down to what is. So the question is between you and that 25 miles. How many other pawnbrokers are there? Is there one? Is there zero? Is there three? Is there 10? So if there's 10, I'm like, it's not going to happen, right? So you want to get the real narrow niche around you and own that. So if it's 3 mile radius around your shop, then be it, but own it. That nobody else within that 3 mile radius will actually consider going anyplace else because you're it. And at that price, I can tell you with $25, you're pretty much going to hit everybody.
Yeah, that's
right, which is great because it's a lot of money, and people. So you could say, okay, $25, and maybe let me do 4 miles, 5 miles, and then just be put it in front of all that. So that would be the thing. Now, in terms of content, right? So that's the strategy into, I would say, once a week, $25, and then we're going to do a mix of things, right? So I would want to say, let's have the pawn stories. Right? Stories. So you're talking about a story of that guitar, and you could do a little bit of research. By the way, you go to Google, you say Stratocaster 1968. It's going to give you a page of information. And here are the 3 things that's actually amazing about this guitar. First of all, it was built in blah, 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 blah. Here are the guys that actually played that guitar, Paul McCartney, da, 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 da. And then, another thing, and it was actually built in Northern England, and then the factory was moved to the United States. Just stuff like that. 2 minutes worth of that stuff. You got a great story. By the way, this guitar is yours, for the low price of $2,500. And if you come before the end of the day, you can take it home for $24, right? So here's the thing. You see the sales guy in me like that's going. It's always on, by the way. So so that's the first thing. So that would be the sales video. The second video I want you to do is how-to videos. So we want to do how-to videos. The how-tos, there's a website that's amazing. I would invite every single one of the listeners to go to. It's called answerthepublic.com. Okay. Answerthepublic.com, right? You go there, and there's just one box, and then I'm going to put it on. Like I'm going to put pawn shop, or let me put pawn shop as a keyword, right? And then it says get questions. And what it's looking for, it's aggregating. I'm using a bit complex internet word there, but it's aggregating what is on Google and YouTube with all the questions relating to pawn shop.
Wow.
Right. And it's giving you, and there was actually 129 questions. I just did it as I'm speaking to you. And it's going to give you the what, the are, the can, the will, the who, the which, the how, the why, the when, and the where. Right. So let me tell you about the how. How pawn shop works is the first question. That's one video. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how pawn shops work.
Wow.
Works. Let me say that again. Let's go. Boom. So there's 3 things you need to know about how a pawn shop works. Number 1 is blah, blah, blah. Number 2 is blah, blah, blah. And number 3 is blah, blah, blah. Now you know how pawn shops work. This was brought to you by Dupont Pawn Shop. Thank you. Boom. You've just given it a piece of content that lasted you 2 minutes. Now, I know I'm extremely charismatic and very good looking. So
yes,
I know I have that going for me. No, I'm not. I'm a bald French guy with a beard. But and I have an accent, and I don't care.
It makes it sexy.
Yeah. Of course it is. The second question: how pawn shop loans work?
So they're setting up the content for you.
That's it. And let me give you the third one because it keeps on going. There was one: how pawn shop works Singapore. Apparently that's in thing. How pawn shop is open today. So there's a whole bunch of questions. There is one that's, what's a pawn shop? There's actually a question. People want to know what a pawn shop is. It's your job to educate them.
Yeah.
There is an idiot somewhere in America that is far less talented than you, far less charismatic than you, that is creating that video.
Yeah.
And when you're going to watch it and he's going to have 25,000 views, it's going to kill you. It is absolutely going to kill you that moron that is like 32 years old and you've been in this business for 25 years is kicking your butt with a stupid video just because he had the courage to do it. So
I
my
love
question is, are you going to let that punk do it, or are you going to do it? By the way, what you could do is how Pawn Shop works in West Palm Beach.
There you
I'm
go.
in West Palm Beach. Now, bear in mind that a lot of this stuff is geographic for you. It's great because, I mean, I know some of you may own multiple stores, but the vast majority of you are going to own multiple stores within a region
Correct.
in the San Diego area or Southern California. So maybe even if you have 10 stores, they're all within driving distance within an hour or two. So you could say, how does Pawn Shop works in Southern California? How does Pawn Shop works in Los Angeles? How does it work in San Diego? It's each one of them. It's a little bit different because different, things. But it's just, I mean, it's just how Pawn Shop work guitar, how Pawn Shop work, how much Pawn Shop for gold. Every single one of them is a question that enough people asked on Google and YouTube that this system picked it up and said, that is a question that keeps on coming over and over and over again.
And
your job is to create a video.
And if you're the expert, if you're the authority who answers it, then you have more people engaging with you. And at some point, walking through the door. I want to be very clear here. Like I love.
I'm thinking of a thing. I'm thinking of something. Listen, I'm going to give you a fair shot and a warning. If you don't do that video, I'm going to do it.
Antoine's going to do the video. He's going to get 25,000 views. And you guys
25,000 views
against the wall.
That's right.
So I want to make something very clear, though. This isn't about selling, Antoine.
No.
Like, I don't want people to think that they're going to make the video, boost it for $25, and say, I'm going to sell $10,000 more tomorrow. This takes time to engage people.
Right. It's the difference between long tail strategy and short tail strategy. This is long term. If you want to make a crap load of money, always bet on long-term strategy.
Yep.
There is always limited amount of money in short-term strategy. You want short-term strategy? Invest in Google AdWords. Short-term. Spend $500. You're going to get people that are going to come to your website, to your store. The moment you stop paying for Google AdWords, it's over. Videos will be there in a month from now, in 6 months from now, in a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. Tell me when to stop. 10 years from now, 25.
You can stop.
I mean, it goes on. It just never going to go away. By the way, all these questions are evergreen. They have nothing to do with what's going on with today. It was valid 10 years ago. It's valid today. It will be valid 10 years from now. You could have a video that actually is the video to go to around Pawn Shop. Someone is probably, I mean, I didn't look at YouTube. So by the way, the chances are is there already a whole bunch of videos around the pawn industry on YouTube. And there are two things that I look at. Sometimes they're like, look at that. There's already all of those videos. So here's the rule of thumb. You go to YouTube, search for as a matter of fact, I'm going to do it as I'm speaking with you, right? So how Pawn Shop works? I'm going to go in YouTube. I'm getting granular here.
No, it's good. I want to know exactly how to do this so that the listeners.
All right. So I did how Pawn Shop works, and I got 35,600 results, which tells me that it is completely ready for you. Like, so here's the rule of thumb. Anything close to 1 million results, the chances are it's not going to happen. Okay. It could. I don't know you. Maybe you're so charismatic and so fun and so whatnot that you could blow up the internet. But chances are is that for the average Joe like you and me, this is not going to happen. So anything close to 1 million, I would stay away. What you want is, like, I would say the 100,000 results, right? The 100,000 range is 100. Sometimes you have 200,000. You can look at it. And what I look at is I look at the videos. Are they any good? Do they have a good microphone? Do they have good sound? Is this what they say makes sense? By the way, you could be an alternative solution to that, because I'm looking at 5 results there. There is this dude, Tim Russell, Scrat Ace, Pawn Stars is the 3rd video, by the way. It's not even Pawn Stars, it's not even the 1st video. Yeah. This guy, Tim Russell, actually came number 1 before Pawn Stars. There is one Expert Village and one Pawn Guru. So these are the five top results. Your job is to say, okay, I'm going to make one that's better, like that. So that would be like, that's how I would do. I would go to answerthepublic.com. You get all the how, all the questions, all the why, all the how. And then you go on YouTube and you look at it. As if you see like something that's below 100,000 results, it's like, okay, I have to have my own video. And what I would do is you use the same question, how pawn shop works in San Diego. Now someone is in San Diego is looking, boom, then you show up. And your video doesn't have to be particularly better. I would recommend you make it a little bit better. But it doesn't have to be better, because granularly, the person in San Diego is going to see it because it just actually applies to them.
It connects to them more, right?
Yeah.
And so this is,
and to go back there, because I want to make sure that they get it. I think that the long tail, here's the problem. The vast majority of business owners don't watch their numbers and the results enough. They don't pay attention enough to it. But if you did, and you did that systematically for 2 years, for 24 months, exactly what we talk about, you would actually be blown away by the results, blown away by what it's producing for you in terms of traffic, the increase of your business. Because all of a sudden, people are going to start show up in your store and your shop, and they don't even know why. But they've been watching you for 2 years. So that's how people do. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I could talk on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm going to put out a challenge to the Pawn Leader family to do one video a week, and report back to us and report back to you how it's going. Right?
Yeah, send it to me. Send it to me for review. By the way, they can go to my YouTube channel. I got a couple of. Actually several on workshop on video marketing, giving the basics of people so they can actually watch. There is like, how do you frame a shot? How do you mic it, the sound, the light, just few tips. You don't, it's just, just little things that are going to help you framing the shot better, making sure it's mic'd up and make sure the lights is right. You don't need to buy expensive thousands of dollars of equipment. I got my wife set up, by the way. On Christmas, she told me, can you get me like a kit so I can do my own thing and stay away from me? She just, me directing my wife is, can you see it? Right. It's not, no. If I want to stay married, it's not a good thing. Yeah. She said, buy me the stuff and leave me alone. And I bought her an entire kit, which is in one of my videos. And it was $148, including lights, microphones. Considering that I told her to use her phone as the device to record. Usually the camera is the expensive thing, but $148, I got her everything she needed to get started.
So Antoine, this has been incredible. You have given so much value to the Pawn Leaders podcast. I want to let people know how they can find you. So you said you have a YouTube channel. What should they search for to find you?
Well, you go to YouTube and you look for Antoine Dupont Speaker. It's Antoine, Antoine, last name Dupont, like Dupont Chemical, and then Speaker. It's also A Dupont 9999. 99, because I got married on September 9, 1999.
Oh, nice.
That's true. It's a true story. I can never forget my anniversary. And I would say that would be the best place for you to connect with me, because you would get a lot of this content, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about. I created workshops and a video marketing series, believe it or not, on the topic. Among other, but I've done a lot of things on video marketing. As a matter of fact, this is how Yigal, connected with me and say, I saw your video, and say, you know what, let's talk about it, because I think the pawn industry could benefit from that. So, it's actually right there is the proof that it works.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I can tell you there's probably over 100 video marketers between Yigal and me in West Palm Beach from San Diego. Easily 100.
Oh, for sure.
But but
not as good as looking as you, though, my friend, with that sexy accent.
Stop it! You're gonna make me blush now.
All right, brother. This has been a blast. Pawn family, thank you so much for listening to the Pawn Leaders podcast. And remember to go to Facebook and connect with us at the Pawn Leaders podcast community. That's where we talk about the episodes afterwards, if you have any connections. And if you'd like to talk to me about helping you and your leadership within your podcast, in your pawn shop, Go to pawnleaders.com, pawnleaders.com, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.